Hi, Karmesh. Thank you so much for joining us on Blitz Business. It's good to have you.
Thanks, Ashish. It's pleasure to be here.
Awesome. So, Karmesh, first tell us a little bit about yourself. कहाँ पढ़े हो, क्या किया है? फिर आते हैं.
So I come from Alwar, a tier three city in Rajasthan, but it's a great place to be at.
Hmm.
So did my education from a Hindi medium school initially, so Adarsh Vidya Mandir, and I used to be in Khertal. It's a place where certain good people have come out from the same place.
Great.
Jitendra Kumar, TVF,
Oh,
Jitu Bhai. So he's from Khertal. Then Rahul Yadav, housing.com. So
very
again,
famous one.
so again, he's from the same place. So eventually, then I moved to Alwar city, completed my 10th, moved to Kota with the aspiration to get into IIT.
Wow.
Somehow couldn't do that. Ranks were a little, behind. And then I took admission in LNM IIT, which is in Jaipur. I completed my graduation in computer science and engineering. So while I was doing that, I got that sense that entrepreneurship is something which I would like to do throughout my life. And I would say in certain ways, I don't know how it, certain people don't take it that great, but somewhere Saket, who was my college senior, Saket Modi, who's the co-founder of
Lucidus.
Safe Security. Yes, Lucidus. So he, like, while I was in my first semester, he was in seventh. He was in the final year.
Oh, you guys
So
were in the same college.
same college. Alma
Okay.
was same. So then eventually looking at him, how exactly he evolved himself as a college grad student to an entrepreneur was something exciting. So that also gave me a spark, and eventually then the journey started. So first opportunity was from Rajasthan Royal. I was looking out for co-founders. So I remember the date. It was 4th January 2013. I started writing down my business plan, what to do, what not to do, and with the limited scope, limited thinking process, what I was able to figure out is let's create a e-commerce platform for automobile, right? What Room does today in a different way. So that's something which I thought of. I started reaching out to my colleagues in campus. Let's start this. But back then people were not that keen to do or start something of his own. It was a sweet time. Second semester, people were busy watching movies, making girlfriends, and everything. So
Very important things
then
also.
I thought, let me individually take this forward and see how I progress. So then I got the opportunity from Rajasthan Royal to work with them as CSR executive, corporate social responsibility executive.
The
Owned
IPL team, you mean?
Yeah, IPL team, IPL
Oh.
team.
Hmm.
So they were looking for volunteers to
Hmm.
carry that forward. So wahan se I got that as a chance, and I think then there has been no turn back.
Lot
You
of
get to
questions,
see
Karmesh. Lot of
work with the
questions
co.
my mind now.
Sure. Please,
Very interesting
please go ahead.
background. So let's start with Saket Modi. I've been following him for quite some time. So, so tell us a little bit how Saket was in the college.
See, he has always been brand. That's something which he is very good at building. People who know him know how he communicates. They are fantastic. So let me tell you an instance. It was a Tech Fest, October 2012, right? First semester. He was in seventh semester. He was delivering that 2 days workshop.
Hmm.
Those used to be very popular in those days. 2 day ethical hacking workshop and 16 hours of program. At the end of the workshop, he was collecting feedback, right? Okay, what do you like the most about the thing? And my feedback was your English, your communication is way far better than the teacher who is communicating or actually teaching us the English in the first semester, right? And that's something which was very fascinating. The way he presents, the way he actually puts up things, and it's very engaging, very interacting. So that's actually helped him a lot. Helped him a lot. If you would have seen any of his videos, any of his interviews, or met him, you will like the way he carries the charm, the way he speaks. I think there are two people whom I admire for speaking or for actually, building that sort of conversation. One the great SRK, and then the second is Saket.
Wow. Uh, but are you trying to say technology में limitation है? Branding?
See, I think everybody, generally people who are, I would say technocrats, they have a great amount of understanding how to, build a product. They have an understanding what sort of mission they are on to, but communicating that in a very lucrative manner and making sure that every individual, whether he's from a technology background or not, and he's then actually fascinated about what you are doing, is incredible. So marketing yourself is something which I learned from Saket.
Then let's deep dive on Kota. So how was your experience in Kota? How long were you there? Tell us a little bit.
2 years, 2 years, 2010.
Mm.
It was, I think, 8th April I landed there, 8th April 2010, Bansal classes.
Oh,
And so initial first year, it was in Bansal classes. I used to, juggle between P3 to I think P7. These were the batches I used to be within. So they used to have PQRS series and P1 to P11, and every series has 11 to 12 batches.
mm.
So that used to be my range. Then I think there were certain changes in the faculties. Certain faculties left, so then I joined Vibrant, and so 12th was throughout with Vibrant Academy. Finally, when the results came, they weren't good. I got, backs, ranks, and so eventually, LNMIT was the place who used which still takes the admission. Right now, everything is merged, but that one time they used to take the admission through JE ranking as well as Triple E ranking. So JE ranking was considered, and considering that, I got computer science and engineering in LNMIT.
So what are the, let's say, two good things about Kota and two bad things?
Two good things about Kota, definitely the atmosphere, right? And initially, when you go there, you like the food. Because the first time you're out from from your home, and you get that different sort of food every day, you are getting something new. Over a period of time, it becomes to be a boring thing.
Mm.
Second thing is the loneliness. If you're not able to do better, certain times you feel that the person sitting next to or living in the next room is something, let's say if he's in a higher batch or so and so forth, then certain times your energy is down,
Mm.
and maintaining that energy requires a lot of guidance, a lot of mentorship from other people around that, or I would say support from the family, and so I think loneliness is something which turns out to be a big uh, turn off for many of the people. I've seen that with many of my colleagues who used to be on the same floor, because every floor used to have 10 or 11 rooms. So you get to see that out of that, one might be doing good, remaining 8 or 9 are actually down with the fact that how to cope up. A lot of things have been missed. How should I cope up that course or maybe the study material and then reach to where exactly I want?
And the second?
Oh, second, I think health. Most of the people suffer from it. I also suffered from it because of the food. So initially, you find the food to be good enough, but over a period of time, having the same food, or maybe a bad food, because not every mess is offering you the same quality. Right now, I don't know what's the atmosphere. It's been almost been a decade for me to. I have not been to Kota,
What type
but
of
that
food?
point in time, a lot of people used to suffer from it,
What?
typhoid or jaundice, so and so.
Oh, bad quality of food, you mean?
Bad quality of food, water. So that's something which is common there, and mostly people get fall to it.
Wow, 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 wow. So then, what was the after graduation, Karmesh, from college? So what you said, you started e-commerce. So you didn't want to get a job, didn't get the job. There are multiple reasons, or you found someone fascinating. I want to be on that path. We have founders come from all the way from people who didn't get the job, like, or kuch mila nahi, ye karte hain. Some were like motivated enough. So what was your story?
Right. So as I mentioned, like by the end of the first semester itself, I got that clarity that I want to be an entrepreneur. Something big has to be done, and I always had this. I've mentioned this couple of times. I always had this thought process in my mind, even during the school time too. I used to carry it. I want a strong self identity, can't be a part of the chunk.
Crowd.
So
Hmm.
yeah, crowd. So eventually it has to be, if you have certain skills, if you have certain qualities, you should stand out. I believe in that. So that was the start, that I got that clarity. As I mentioned, by the start of the second semester, I started writing the business plan and so forth. I started meeting people around the city. I still remember Mahavir Pratap Sharma, who was the chairman of TIE Global, co-founder of RAIN, Rajasthan Angel Investor Network. So he was the first person I met from the other side of the community.
Hmm.
Uh, I shared what I was thinking around the business plan and so. But then, the overall idea was how to start. तो वो करते हुए राजस्थान रॉयल आया. राजस्थान रॉयल के बाद I did my internship with Saket. So Lucidus 2013 summer was in Delhi,
Okhla,
and
you were in Okhla or it was somewhere else?
come again.
You were in Okhla office or some
No, 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 not Okhla office. It used to be in front of IIT Delhi.
I did it. Ah, yeah.
Safdarjung Market. It used to be in. I think it was 17 Safdarjung Market or so. So it used to be on second floor, small office, and 600, 700 square feet. So those were the initial times. Saket also moved out from the college, or passed out from the college, and then started the Lucidius formally in a formal official setup. So then it was great. It was a great time. The kind of learning I had within those 2 months were enormous. Or uske baad, then I continued working with them on a part-time basis too. Eventually, then I got an opportunity from a tech startup based out of Gwalior. They were incubated at Triple IT Gwalior, which is the same place where Praveen comes from. Praveen is my co-founder. So his batchmates were doing something, so I got in touch, and then I said, like, "What are you struggling with?" They said, like, "We have a product but are not able to sell it off."
Hmm.
I said, "Let me give a try." Right? You lend up that particular portion to me, give an official opportunity to me. I'll definitely do. So then, in certain capacity, I joined as a operations head for them, or COO that point in time. So Zezzy word. So but so then it was almost like 9 months I did the work with them. Got a lot of new insights during this process. So first time I pitched to a college of my director of my college, sorry, and it was like I was 18, and this operating system was meant to be an overall, I would say, an ERP for education, or for colleges or for universities. The product I was working with, or the company I was working with. तो उनके साथ करते हुए I used to have an understanding कि कैसे चलता है, कैसे करता है. तो I dropped a mail to the college director कि sir, I want to give this presentation to you. So he organized a proper session,
Hmm.
invited few of the other professors too. Let's have a look what this young guy has to say. So पहला question start हुआ, how many man hours you have devoted to this? और man hours का मुझे मतलब ही नहीं पता है. I am standing in front of them, and क्योंकि third semester है. Eventually आपको पता ही नहीं है कि man hours क्या होता है. I said, sir, we have been coding for last 2 years, right? So I am asking a very specific thing from you. How many man hours you have took to develop this? And that was absolute silence. कुछ नहीं पता है. Now then he mentioned कि ठीक है, तुम एक काम करो, इसको उठा करके give it to the IT person, right? Let him test, let him do certain R&D on it, and उसके बाद फिर देखते हैं कि इसको it has to be taken forward or not. But उस पूरे process में ना, man hour was one thing. There were other questions too. और
What
उस
is webinar? For our audience, you have to tell. You cannot leave it.
so let's say you are preparing an Excel sheet, right? And within that Excel sheet, you are trying to build the financial projections. Doing that, if you take somewhere around, it takes you 16, 17 hours to develop or do that job. So then 17 hours will be your man hours. That these are amount of man hours which I have put in to develop this, right? So softwares के अंदर generally it's a very standardized term कि आपको उस सॉफ्टवेयर को डेवलप करने में कितने मैन आवर्स गए हैं, एक्चुअल मैन आवर्स कितने गए हैं. इट इंक्लूड्स योर प्लानिंग, आपने उसका जो भी स्पेसिफिकेशंस बनाया, एंटायर सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपमेंट लाइफ साइकिल का पूरा प्रोसेस को कंक्लूड करते हुए जब तक आपने प्रोडक्ट को कस्टमर तक लेकर के गए हो, उस प्रोसेस में कितने मैन आवर्स लगे, कितने घंटे आपको लगे. तो ये इसके साथ साथ में देयर वर अदर क्वेश्चंस टू, आई वाज नॉट एबल टू आंसर. आई फेल्ट सो ह्यूमिलिएटेड, क्योंकि मैंने अपना क्लास बंक करके मैंने प्रेजेंटेशन दी थी, एंड डायरेक्टर वाजंट अवेयर कि ये थर्ड सेमेस्टर का लड़का जिसका ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम का क्लास चल रहा है और बाजू वाले लेक्चर हॉल में ही चल रहा है, ये छोड़ के बैठा हुआ है और ये मेरे सामने यहाँ प्रेजेंटेशन दे रहा है, राइट. सो काफी सारी चीजें थी. देन आई वेंट टू अदर यूनिवर्सिटीज एज वेल. कुछ जगह ऐसे होता था, आई यूज्ड टू रीच आउट टू द रजिस्ट्रार एंड रजिस्ट्रार यूज्ड टू शाउट कि कल से कॉल मत करना, रख दो. So initially it used to feel so bad to me कि यार at least give me a chance, let me speak to you, let me explain to you what I am trying to develop. So that gave me a little confidence कि बाहर की दुनिया को कैसे आपको पिच इन करना है, मुझे कैसे लोगों का टाइम लेना है, राइट. इनिशियली आप सीधा टेक्नोलॉजी जार्गन पे चले जाओगे, वो नहीं बिकेगा. आप रजिस्ट्रार से बात कर रहे हो, उसको कैसे पिच करोगे, अगर उसने प्रोफेसर को दिया है तो प्रोफेसर को कैसे पिच करोगे. So those were the initial learning.
So,
Finally, yeah,
so what to sort of summarize in the point? So, what were your learnings takeaway? Someone needs to, if someone is pitching, what are the 2-3 things they need to take care of?
got it. See, first is whom exactly you are pitching to. Even in our product too, right now what we sell in cybersecurity, people who come from pre-sales background. What I mean by pre-sales background is people who come from a technology background, right? They're too focused on throwing jargons. This is AI native. That's all fine. That's all fine. AI native. He understands AI and he understands everything. You are pitching to the person, right, who wants to know what is the value I'll get out of this. It's fine. You are doing AI, you are doing ML, your protection is the best in the market. That's fine. How is it exactly helping me? So you have to understand whosoever you are speaking to, make sure you are trying to articulate your pitch in a way that he is able to understand what value he is getting out of it. If
Okay.
he is a CTO, if he is a CIO,
Mm.
definitely tell him that how your AI is actually helping or how your AI model is better than anybody else. He will try to grab that. But if it is a CFO, if it is a purchase officer, the pitch has to be absolutely different. That
Sure.
what will I get after investing 10 lakh rupee into your product?
So, number one is whom you are pitching and try to pitch based on their expertise or
Expertise and convey the value. The first
convey
thing
the
should be
value.
what value you are generating for them.
Second,
Yeah, so value is something which is there. Second, when it comes to an engagement, don't try to be a monotonous person. So even if you're trying to convey value, I've seen it into my team as well. It's not something which is it's a very, very common issue, very common issue. Even if I get the call from certain of the media platforms or media, I would say organizations, let's say XYZ, I'm talking about the large ones. They'll, as soon as I'll pick up the call, hi, hi, am I speaking to Mr. Karmesh? Yeah, yes. So, Mr. Karmesh, this is what we are trying to do. This is an event on this particular thing. We would like to be a speaker over here. This is our theme, and this is. I said, stop, stop. Just at least give a pause. You have been speaking for the last 1.5 minutes. That's good. I have been giving you. I've been kind enough to give you the time, but try to make it a little more engaging.
okay.
Ask, sir, this is something I have an opportunity where I could actually help you to be a speaker, which
Hmm.
will make your presentation or which will take your brand to in front of the decision makers. Will you be okay if I take another 1 minute to give you an introduction about it? Then go forward.
Okay.
Then tell him that okay, this is what is there. I see, do a research also. I see you serve government, I see you serve SMBs, and I see a lot of value proposition that we have almost 50 plus government officials coming in. We see a lot of SMB, founders coming in, which could be a great audience. If it is, can I explain you, can I help you that when is the event, how exactly you can be a part? Would you also like to be a sponsor if it is of a great value proposition? So make it a little more engaging for it,
Engage.
somebody.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, value, engagement.
Yes, that's second, which is something, and then third, don't push anyone. Make sure you leave the conversation at a knot where the other person is by default exciting.
So, let's put this into practice. Now, I think it's a good segue, Karmesh, to tell us about your company keeping and your pitching to audience. And we'll do a poll after it goes live. did Karmesh was able to excite you on these three principles? You have 1 minute. Go for it.
For me though. But okay, anyways. So okay, let me keep it very, very simple, even somebody who is not from
Yes.
technology and
Yes.
layman thing.
Yes.
We are a one-stop solution for all the cybersecurity needs of an SME. That's a one-liner thing. We are a one-stop solution. If you are somebody who is running an organization having headcounts up to 500 people, you believe security is essential, security is something which will give you a leverage. We are a one-stop solution which give you 360-degree protection, right? It's just that on a subscription basis, on a monthly subscription basis, you will be able to take our service, avail our services. Whenever you feel there's a disruption, whenever you feel that you are, maybe if you the things work out in your favor, things don't work out in your favor, it's a pay-per-use model. You can switch off the services, you can switch on the services. Something which is at your doorstep, no installation time, no devotion to it, no management, simple, pure plug and play mode.
I think काफी feedback गया इस pitch में. I was looking from customer perspective कि भाई टक टक टक. No, very nicely done. Very nicely done. So then, Karmesh, the question comes in India. Let's talk about now cybersecurity. In India, I understand technology a little bit. So in India, cybersecurity people generally, what I've seen, doesn't understand. To give you an example, it's like they're like, क्या ले लेंगे? मतलब क्या ही ले लोगे तुम, क्या कर लोगे? मतलब I'm talking to people, decision makers in the conversations we had for some other stuff, and it keeps happening. like, क्या ही ले लोगे? कुछ नहीं है हमारे पास. हमें चाहिए ही नहीं. Then I'm like, it's like saying, you're taking a shower and someone is looking at you. Then like, really? So matlab, there is this gap of understanding, very practical, actual conversation I'm telling. Then how do you convince such people?
बहुत सिंपल तरीके से समझाता हूँ, है ना? देखिए, एसएमबी जो होता है ना, मैंने 500 लोगों तक के लिए जो प्रोडक्ट बनाया है, ये ना लोगों को लगता है कि हैकर माइंडसेट एक तो सबसे पहले समझना पड़ेगा. वेरी वेरी सिंपल थिंग विच वन हैज टू अंडरस्टैंड टू मेक श्योर कि आपको ये वैल्यू समझ में आए कि आपको साइबर सिक्योरिटी की नीड क्यों. जब तक ये आपको क्लियर नहीं है, मैं आपको कितना भी पुश कर लूँ, मेरी टीम कितना भी आपको रीच आउट कर ले, आपको नहीं समझ में आएगा.
तो नीड क्यों है?
यस, सी, हैकर के पर्सपेक्टिव से समझिए. आज आपके भी नेटवर्क में बहुत सारे लोग होंगे जिन्होंने एथिकल हैकिंग सर्टिफिकेशन किया है.
Yeah.
वो अपने आप को व्हाइट कॉलर बोलते हैं, ग्रे कॉलर बोलते हैं, ब्लैक कॉलर बोलते हैं, राइट, या ब्लैक हैट बोलते हैं.
Yeah.
सो इवेंचुअली होगा क्या, सबको, एवरीबडी इज इनटू दिस बिजनेस टू गेट एन आरओआई, राइट. आप इस पर हो, आप आज पॉडकास्ट कर रहे हो, आप कर रहे हो इसलिए कि यू विल गेट अ लर्निंग फ्रॉम द पीयर्स, राइट. बिना किसी से मिले हुए ऑन अ वर्चुअल प्लेटफॉर्म यू आर एबल टू टेक एन लर्निंग, राइट. एवरीवन हैज अ डिफरेंट लर्निंग इन देयर जर्नी. वो आपको
मैंने
हेल्प
तो सीख लिया आज. Yeah.
सो फंडामेंटली क्या होगा, हर बंदे को अपना आरओआई चाहिए. और आप भी इनिशियली जो अपना टीजी डिफाइन करते हो, टारगेट ग्रुप जो है, टारगेट मार्केट जो है, वो डिफाइन करते हो जिसमें आप इजीली जाकर के सेल कर लो, राइट. आप ऐसे कस्टमर्स के पास नहीं जाओगे जो 6 महीना ले लेगा डिसीजन मेकिंग में, तब तक आपका स्टार्टअप ही कोलैप्स कर गया. तो हमारे कंट्री में या बाकी कंट्रीज में जो इंडिविजुअल हैकर्स है, दे ऑल्सो वांट समथिंग एवरी मंथ टू कीप देम गोइंग, राइट. पैसा चाहिए सबको. सो आज वो उस बिजनेस को अटैक करेगा जिसको वो सुबह अटैक करे और उसको 2 दिन में पैसा आ जाए.
Okay.
राइट.
Okay.
लोगों का ये सोचना होता है, जो एसएमबी फाउंडर्स हैं, एमएसएमई फाउंडर्स हैं, छोटे बिजनेस के जो व्यापारी है, उनको ये लगता है कि यार टाटा हैक होगा ना, टाटा पे कोई अटैक करेगा, हमारे पास क्या है, व्हाट डू वी हैव.
Yeah.
हमारे पास कुछ नहीं है. रिलायंस पे अटैक हो, एसबीआई को अटैक करो ना, बैंक को अटैक करो, ये करो, इट्स गुड. जितना बड़ा नाम है, शाहरुख खान के घर में घुसने के लिए उतनी सिक्योरिटी लगी हुई है, ठीक है. सो कहना आसान है कि यार उनके घर में चोरी करके ले आओ, अमिताभ बच्चन जी के घर में जाकर के चोरी, बट इट्स टू टफ, राइट. यू विल हैव टू ट्राई फॉर मंथ्स टू गेट इन, राइट. अगर आपको करना भी है तो, अगर आपको किसी बड़ी कंपनी का सर्वर हैक करना है, उनका डेटा लीक करना है, वो एक मिशन ड्रिवन पर्पस है, और उसमें आपको 3 महीना, 6 महीना, 9 महीना लग जाएगा. ऐसे केस में एक हैकर के लिए अपना सर्वाइवल पॉसिबल नहीं है.
True.
वो भी अपनी फैमिली लेकर के बैठा हुआ है. दे ऑल्सो हैव किड्स, दे ऑल्सो हैव वाइफ टू टेक केयर ऑफ, खुद के पर्सनल एक्सपेंसेस हैं. सो आज अगर उसको इन सारी चीजों को करना है, तो ये जितनी भी चीजें होती हैं, जितने भी बड़े ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को हैक कर,
Okay.
वो गवर्नमेंट भी हो सकती है किसी और कंट्री की, जिसने
Okay.
एसबीआई को हैक करने के लिए ग्रुप ऑफ हैकर्स को लगाया हुआ है, ठीक है, बिकॉज 9 महीने तक या 1 साल तक कंटिन्यूअस आप उस पर हिट्स करने की कोशिश कर रहे हो, अलग अलग मेथोडोलॉजीज लगा रहे हो, फिगर आउट कर रहे हो यार मैं कैसे एंटर कर जाऊं,
Uh-huh.
एंड उस 1 साल तक हु विल गोइंग टू बियर योर कॉस्ट, राइट, समबडी जिसका एक मोटिव है, वो मोटिव किसी एक दूसरी कंट्री की गवर्नमेंट हो सकती है, एक सडन ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल हो सकता है,
MSME से इसका कैसे link?
एमएसएमई का क्या लेना देना है। अब जितने हैक्स, जितना जनरली जो आपकी थॉट प्रोसेस में है कि यार बड़े लोगों को अटैक करोगे ना, मेरे पास क्या है, जितने इंडिविजुअल हैकर्स हैं, व्हाई आई गिव दिस एंटायर सिनॉप्सिस ऑफ इट इज टू गेट अ जिस्ट कि कैसे ये चीज हो रही है। अब जितने छोटे हैकर्स हैं, राइट, उनको सेम डे आरओआई चाहिए, उनको सेम मंथ में आरओआई चाहिए, उनको सेम वीक में। वो क्या करेंगे, एक दिल्ली बेस्ड छोटा सीए फर्म जिसके पास 20 लोगों का स्टाफ है,
Okay.
उसके वहां सर्वर पे उसके लेट से वो 50 कस्टमर्स को हैंडल करता है, उनकी बैलेंस शीट्स है, उनके पीएनएल स्टेटमेंट्स है, कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट्स है, पूरा स्टॉक, पूरा इन्वेंट्री, पूरा सब कुछ अकाउंटिंग है। उनके सर्वर को हैक करके और रैंसम मांगना उनके लिए सबसे ज्यादा बेनिफिशियल है।
वो कहेगा ले जा, टेक इट अवे।
नहीं, नहीं बोलेगा ना, कैसे बोलेगा, आपके पास 50 कस्टमर्स है, आप बहुत छोटी कंपनी हो, उन 50 कस्टमर से या तो आप मंथली चार्ज करते हो या आप उनसे एक एनुअल कोई फीस लेते हो, और वहां पे आप उनको ये बोलते हो कि मैंने तुम्हारी कोई अकाउंटिंग ही नहीं है मेरे पास, सारा डेटा चला गया मेरे पास, राइट। दोस 50 माइट बी द स्टार्टअप्स जो कि आप पे रिलाई करके बैठे हैं कि यार आप, जब मैं आपसे मांगू मेरे इन्वेस्टर को देने के लिए, आप मुझे डेटा दे देना, ठीक है। आप वो जब मेल कर रहा है आप उसको बोल रहे हो तुम्हारा डेटा गया क्योंकि मैं हैक हो।
Okay. Okay.
सो इट इज इजी फॉर देम कि उसका सिस्टम हैक किया और उससे
Hmm.
बोला कि $2000 दे दो,
Hmm.
ठीक है, $2000 ही माइट बी चार्जिंग फ्रॉम अ सिंगल कस्टमर, लेट्स से, राइट,
True.
वो दे भी देगा, वो दे देगा, इस चीज को वो मार्केट में नहीं जाने देगा, वरना उसके 50 कस्टमर्स में से 5 भी नहीं रह जाएंगे,
True. True.
राइट। सो सेम डे हैकर को अपना आरओआई मिल गया।
Okay.
तो वो लोग उन चीजों पे अटैक करना चाहते हैं जहां पे अमाउंट छोटा है, दैट्स
Okay.
फाइन, बट आपको कॉन्स्टेंटली अपने सर्वाइवल के लिए।
So let me ask Karmesh this: what was the most scariest attack you have ever seen?
स्केरियस्ट अटैक, सी स्केरियस्ट में,
Or
since the time of
interesting,
COVID,
interesting.
interesting one, okay, it's majorly again around why I took the example of CA forms, because during the COVID time we got a lot of queries from CA forms, pan India basis, right, CA forms, law firms, or firms who are into trading, small firms who are brokers who are managing a portfolio of 15, 20, 30 clients. Those were the ones who were at the highest peak in terms of attacks. कोविड स्टार्ट हुआ है 2020 की बात है, 2020 2021 इनफैक्ट द सेम ट्रेंड kept on going on. तो सीए फॉर्म्स में, एंड दिस एग्जांपल जो 50 यूजर्स वाला है, ये रियल एग्जांपल है, दिस इज समथिंग व्हिच हैपेंड इन, वी वर बेस्ड आउट ऑफ जयपुर दैट पॉइंट इन टाइम एंड इट हैपेंड इन जयपुर इटसेल्फ,
Oh.
राइट। इसके बाद वंस दे गॉट अ सक्सेस इन दिस, पे किया है, दैट कंपनी पेड $2000,
Uh-huh.
2000 से ज्यादा ही था थोड़ा, बट दैट कंपनी पेड। Once they got that ransom, right, immediately after that another 15 forms, somewhere around another 15 forms, because they were a part of the CA community, they got that message ki yaar hamara bhi hua hai, and somewhere those WhatsApp groups or through whatever the another ways they had, the same set of hackers kind of hit the systems of those 15 another CAs, because they got to sense कि यार ये तो बहुत आसान है, एक को हिट किया, गॉट 2500 लेट्स अनदर 15, और वहां से अगर किसी 4-5 ने पे कर दिया, यू आर डन फॉर द एंटायर ईयर, राइट।
Wow.
दिस इज हाउ इट वर्क्स। सो व्हाई आई कम्युनिकेटेड दिस एग्जांपल, बिकॉज पीपल शुड अंडरस्टैंड यू आर द इजीएस्ट टारगेट फॉर देम,
Wow.
आपके पास कुछ नहीं है।
So
So,
tell me in this, Karmesh, but so in our circle also someone got hacked. They were asked for 5 Bitcoin, and they were not able to do anything because everything was encrypted, and they had nothing. And they were said, "Let it go. We'll recover data from our backup," because they engaged firms, everyone,
hmm,
top of the top. I won't name whatever it is. They couldn't, because once it's encrypted and everything, they were not able to do anything. So is there any way around it? Because once you are hacked, then what do you do? Like,
Encryption का कोई तरीका नहीं है. If it is encrypted, it's done. The only way is आप precautions ले सकते हो. As you mentioned, the other firm had a backup, so they let it go. Encrypt कर दिया, let it go. कोई बात नहीं. हमारे पास backup है. We'll try to retrieve whatever the information or whatever the critical data we need from it. So ये ransomware का एक one of the ways भी होता है. Ransomware attack को protect करने का. That if you are an organization जिसके पास 100 systems हैं, 150 systems हैं, you keep on taking the regular backup of those systems. It could be an hourly basis, it could be on a maybe daily basis, bi-weekly basis, whatever feels suitable to you. And that backup is there. Even if somebody hacks or if somebody encrypts the data, doesn't matter to you because you have a backup available. You are not going to pay any ransom to anyone. The another aspect is how to protect these ransomware. I'm adding on to it is to have, because these are cryptographic malwares. Ransomwares are cryptographic malwares which are complex, right? Not that easy. So cryptographic malwares can only be handled with your cutting edge AI models. You need to have a behavior. मतलब बहुत सीधा. I can sense your expression कि यार ये क्या है. So इसका मतलब बहुत सीधा सा है.
मेरी थीसिस बाय द वे एआई में है, बट मैं फिर भी ब्लैंक आउट हो जाता हूँ.
हाँ, मैंने इतना कॉम्प्लिकेटेड बोल दिया है. So let me simplify it for you. So होता ये है ना कि क्रिप्टोग्राफिक malwares का ये पता करना कि ये एक्चुअल में malware है, राइट? या एक सॉफ्टवेयर जो है ये malware है,
या
ये
नहीं
बहुत
है.
इजीली आइडेंटिफाई नहीं हो पाता है. वो
But
इजीली
is
आइडेंटिफाई क्यों नहीं होता है? क्योंकि जनरली
match the signature.
हाँ, सिग्नेचर मैच इज अ ओल्ड टेक्नोलॉजी, इज अ ट्रेडिशनल टेक्नोलॉजी.
Okay.
कि आप गए और आप आ रहे हो, आशीष आ रहे हैं, मैंने फोटो से चेक कर लिया, दैट्स अ सिग्नेचर मैच कि आशीष को गेट पे रोक दो, राइट? बट अभी आशीष ने हेलमेट लगा लिया है, राइट? और आशीष ने स्कार्फ लगा लिया है, अब मुझे कुछ दिख ही नहीं रहा है. नाउ आई हैव टू जज कि आशीष है और इसको रोकना है,
Yeah.
राइट? सो देन आई डोंट हैव एनी अदर ऑप्शन. वो फोटोग्राफ वाला काम नहीं करेगा. मुझे ये देखना था कि आशीष पहले जब आते थे तो आशीष के हैंड मूवमेंट्स कैसे हैं, आशीष की बॉडी लैंग्वेज कैसी है, राइट? तो
ये
मैं
सब.
हाँ, तो अब मुझे वो बिहेवियरल एनालिसिस है. वो
Okay.
चेहरा इज नो मोर एन ऑप्शन फॉर मी टू मैच एंड स्टॉप यू. नाउ द ऑप्शन इज कि वॉक कैसे कर रहा है, राइट? दिस इज हाउ पीपल गेज और फिगर आउट कि ओ अमिताभ बच्चन इज गोइंग बिकॉज दे नो हाउ ही वॉक्स. Even if his face is covered. So this is basically doing it by AI.
Okay. Awesome.
You have previous data and based on that you identify. So ransomware पे, if you have a product, if you have a antivirus who is supporting this AI based detection, right? Then again, it could be an added advantage to you to protect the ransomware.
That was a wonderful analogy. I will never forget this now. And I might use this now in future and reference I learned from Karmesh.
Great. I hope the audience also gets to understand this.
So I have some rapid fire question, Karmesh, for you ready, which I was preparing since morning.
Oh,
तो बहुत सारे हैं, तो आई थॉट इसमें रैपिड फायर ही करना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज अदरवाइज ये कवर कैसे होंगे, आई डोंट नो. सो हेंस
please go ahead.
So the first one is ki how does so many people want to start business, right? So we get a lot of question in terms of we want to start business and maybe in cybersecurity somewhere. But then the question comes, how do you differentiate? Because cybersecurity people feel the questions we had coming in line previously also, it's a very old or stagnated. How do you differentiate yourself? Because there are established product already in the market, right? How can you compete with the company who has $100 million invested in a product? So what is your rapid fire question one? How do you differentiate, or someone wants to start in this?
Great. See, if you are trying to do what somebody is already doing, generally US and Israel are far ahead of us in terms where India today currently stands in cybersecurity. For sure, we have also come across or come along a long way. 2011-12, just adding this to, just to set up the context, 2011-12, hardly there used to be 7 or 10 cybersecurity product startups from India. Today, while standing at 2024, I can proudly say that the ecosystem is having more than 350 plus cybersecurity product startups. right? Out of these 350 plus cybersecurity product startups, almost 50 plus are having global clientele, right? Which gives a add-on, or which gives a confidence that Indian technology is being accepted outside as well, right? And people have, when I say global, people have the customers in US, people have the customers in UK, the very same place where the technology is already far ahead, and they are accepting it. One aspect is you compete on price, right? People who developed almost similar sort of product, right,
Hmm.
with little bit of variation, little bit of variation, because how India works is totally different from how the rest of the world has way or look at the technology, right? The
Okay.
scale of India is totally different. So one way is, I have seen entrepreneurs doing similar stuff, right? But they had a little variation in terms of design, and that I've seen.
No, design in mean you're like in the product you're saying?
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. Not in the architecture, it's the UI UX design, right?
Ah, okay.
The why I mentioned the India touch. See, US audience is very well educated. They are very well aware. The person who is operating a product, dealing with X problem, or solving a X problem, has that understanding. He can traverse across all these options and can try and can get it done. India people, right, who are still starting with, who are still building their skills or capacities in cybersecurity, don't have that sort of mindset कि वो इतना इतना मूव इन करेंगे, इतना एक एक एक्सप्लोर करेंगे ऑप्शन को, they will get exhausted कि यार हटा दो, मुझे नहीं समझ में आ रहा है. So they made a little variance to it. Let's keep the touch. Let's make the UI and UX so simple and attractive. जितना आप उसको, इट्स मोर और लेस लाइक कि लिनक्स का जो पहले कमांड कमांड लाइन वाली चीज होती थी, और मैंने आपको उसको ग्राफिकल यूजर इंटरफेस दे दिया, तो आपके लिए बहुत आसान हो गया.
So basically, price and then interface. Keep the user
वेरिएशन. सो
interface
प्राइस के साथ साथ आपको कुछ वेरिएशन रखना पड़ेगा. सो इट्स अ
variation.
कॉम्बो. सो
Understood.
अगर आप सेम प्रोडक्ट को लेकर के कुछ करने की कोशिश कर रहे हो, सिमिलर प्रोडक्ट को लेकर के, यू फील कि यार अभी वो कंपनी वहां शुरू हो गई है और उसने $100 मिलियन का अपना वैल्यूएशन बना लिया है, दे आर येट टू कम टू इंडिया, उससे पहले मैं बिल्ड कर लेता हूँ. इट्स लाइक अमेजॉन फ्लिपकार्ट स्टोरी, राइट? वो यहाँ है, उससे पहले मैं अपना फ्लिपकार्ट बना लेता हूँ. सो सिमिलर सॉर्ट ऑफ थिंग, बट डेफिनेटली यू हैव अ डिफरेंट सेट ऑफ चैलेंजेस हियर इन इंडिया. तो आपने उसमें कुछ वेरिएशन किया, प्राइस से आप डेफिनेटली कॉम्पिटिटिव रहोगे ही रहोगे, बिकॉज यू आर डेवलपिंग इट इन इंडिया.
Yeah.
So that was one of the strategy which I've seen with the fellow founders who have done it and who have achieved and who have even sold the company to other MNCs.
थोड़ा rapid fire second पे आते हैं.
Yes.
We'll keep it short. So in the second one, so do you think what Lucidus or Safe Security is doing, cyber quantification score,
This
is there a
quantification, yeah.
market? This quantification, is there a
Yeah.
market for it?
Yes, 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 for sure, for sure. So see, for them, the market is for the Fortune 5,000 companies, right? As of now, because those are the people who wants to have that crisp understanding in terms of what's the score. A CEO or the chairman of the board, if he doesn't have that sort of strong technology background, is not looking for, because they also don't have the time. So in a very lucid manner, in a very objective manner, if I want to understand what's my score, where I stand in comparison to my competition, I can do that in a very objective way through CRQ.
Awesome. Third is why are you guys not doing it?
Why we are not doing it? Cybersecurity is a huge domain. The problem set which we identified, देखिए, बहुत सीधी सी बात है, किसी भी कंट्री का जीडीपी 30 to 60% ऑफ द जीडीपी कम्स फ्रॉम दी एमएसएमईज, राइट? वो सिक्योर नहीं है, वो सिक्योर नहीं है, राइट? इकोनॉमी कभी भी कोलैप्स कर सकती है, अगर आप अभी इसको इमेजिन नहीं कर सकते हो. बट अगर एमएसएमईज पे अटैक्स, बिकॉज उनके पास कोई प्रोडक्ट नहीं, कोई डिफेंसिबिलिटी नहीं है, कोई कोई भी डिफेंस वॉल ही नहीं है, उन पे अगर अटैक्स होना शुरू हो जाए, तो आपकी इकोनॉमी का बहुत लार्जर चंक सफर करेगा.
इंडिया का एग्जांपल लेते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ इंडिया गेट्स अटैक्ड फुल ब्लोन, व्हाट इज द इम्पैक्ट यू सी फोरसी?
इंडिया का जो जीडीपी इम्पैक्ट होगा वो समवेयर अराउंड 33 to 35% जीडीपी एमएसएमई से, एसएमबी से,
वाओ.
राइट? सीधा सीधा ये छोटे छोटे मैन्युफैक्चरर्स हैं. आई थिंक बहुत सारे लोगों ने बहुत अलग अलग पॉडकास्ट पे बोला है कि यार एमएसएमईज को सेलिब्रेट करो, राइट? आई स्टिल रिमेंबर लॉट ऑफ पीपल, बट आई वोंट टेक द नेम, बट जिन्होंने ये चीज कहा है कि यार एक लाला जाता है, स्कूटी पे जाता है, शाम को 50,000 रुपए लेकर के आता है अपने साथ, राइट? दोज आर द बिजनेसेस हु आर एक्चुअली द बैक of or the contribute 33% to the GDP of Indian economy. So हमारा फोकस ये था कि ये पूरा मार्केट अनटैप्ड है, ये पूरा मार्केट अनटैप्ड है, बिकॉज आपको साइबर सिक्योरिटी अगर करनी है और आपको एक्चुअल में करना है तो यू नीड टू प्रोक्योर एटलीस्ट एक एसएमबी को 7 से 8 अलग अलग प्रोडक्ट खरीदने पड़ेंगे और अलग अलग वेंडर से खरीदने पड़ेंगे। ना तो आपको पता है वो वेंडर कौन है उनके लिए, ना आपके पास टीम है, ना आपके पास सीआईओ है, कैसे करोगे, ना आपके पास कैपिटल है। ये 8 प्रोडक्ट को अगर मैं आपको कहूँ आपको एनुअल बेसिस पर खरीदना है और मैं आपको बोलता हूँ यार आप सीधा सीधा ना लेकर के आइए 1 करोड़ का इन्वेस्टमेंट, यही रीजन है, पेनिट्रेशन ही नहीं है।
भाग जाएंगे।
दिस इज हाउ वी आर ट्राइंग टू क्रैक इट।
So then the question comes, Karmesh, if someone puts your solution or some other cybersecurity vendor, and if they still get attacked, then what?
सी देयर इज नो फुल प्रूफ गारंटी कि मैंने हेलमेट लगा लिया तो मेरे को कुछ नहीं होगा। आप कितने से कितना महंगा हेलमेट लगा लो या मैंने सीट बेल्ट लगा ली तो मेरा कुछ नहीं होगा, राइट? या एयर बैग है तो कुछ नहीं होगा। सो इवेंचुअली इट्स एडिंग यू नो
Layer
योर
of
इंक्रीजिंग या लेयर ऑफ सिक्योरिटी, इंक्रीजिंग द चांसेस ऑफ योर प्रोटेक्शन। हाँ ये है कि अगर आपने हमें लगा लिया चांसेस इज कि 99% आप सेफ।
थोड़े bruises आएंगे आएंगे little bit, but आप life threatening ऐसा नहीं होगा, no?
यस।
Very well answered, very well answered. Then the next one is, what is the most controversial opinion you believe in?
कंट्रोवर्शियल ओपिनियन यार, मुझे लगता है कि काफी सारी जगह लोगों का काफी सारे एस्पेक्ट्स में, बट लेट मी पिक वन कि ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को बिल्ड करते हुए जो अभी मुझे चैलेंजेस फील हो, तो वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस का बड़ा क्वेश्चन चलता है।
You believe 70 hours, 80 hours?
यार आई थिंक काम होना चाहिए, राइट?
आंसर
और
बहुत सेफ आंसर था, you have to give.
काम होना चाहिए, क्योंकि हर बिजनेस का अपना डिमांड है। मैं नहीं कह सकता हूँ आपको
इंटरनेशनल मार्केट में
अगेन इफ द बिजनेस परमिट्स, एंड अगर आपके पास टीम शॉर्टेज है वो आपके फाउंडर्स का चॉइस है कि हाउ एग्जैक्टली, अगर आपको लगता है कि जिस बंदे का इंडिया में फोकस है स्पेशलाइजेशन और इंटरनेशनल भी स्पेशलाइजेशन रखता है तो बहुत ही कमाल का बंदा, उसको को-फाउंडर बना लो फिर, तो वो चैलेंज ही खत्म हो जाएगा। सो सो गेम इज कि आपका काम होना चाहिए। सो देखिए हमारे केस में हम गवर्नमेंट क्लाइंटल वो है ना जिसको ये समझ नहीं आता है कि यार अभी शाम हो गई है, अभी सुबह समय हो गई है, क्योंकि डिफेंस है। लेट्स से हम डिफेंस को बहुत सारे, हमने 80+ लोकेशंस पे डिफेंस को सर्व किया है। सारे कमांड्स हमारे पास है, नॉर्दर्न कमांड, वेस्टर्न कमांड, सदर्न कमांड, ईस्टर्न कमांड, चारों कमांड्स में हम सर्व कर रहे हैं। अभी उनको ये सब का नहीं है कि यार 12 बज रहे हैं अभी, सर वी डोंट हैव यू अवेलेबल, विल गेट अ कॉल अरेंज फॉर यू एट 10 AM इन द मॉर्निंग। विल से तुम एक काम करो, आई एम इशूइंग अ ब्लैक लिस्टिंग लेटर, तुम जाओ यहाँ से। इट्स अ वेरी सिंपल आंसर, इट ऑल डिपेंड्स ऑन बिजनेस।
no
सो
boundaries, basically, you're saying.
yeah, I made my team understand, see, we are serving government, it's a privilege for you also to speak and to serve and to constantly be in touch with such high level officials who are directly speaking to you and giving you the feedback on your product or making you understand कि ये issue है, ये है, और इनको you are trying to get a lot of exposure. Try to see it in another way. Yes, because it's a critical sector, if it's a power sector, आपको वहां पे करना पड़ेगा। तो
But
डिपेंड्स
this,
ऑन बिजनेस टू बिजनेस, बट दिस इज समथिंग वेयर आई फील आई हैव द कंट्रोवर्शियल ओपिनियन कि बहुत ज्यादा ये होता है ना कि यार नहीं, इट्स 9 to 6 अब नहीं करेंगे। तो
hmm,
मुझे वहां थोड़ा सा इशू होता है
okay,
कि
okay.
यार आप रिजिड बाउंड्रीज नहीं रख सकते हो। इट्स ओके, मैं आपको ये भी नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि आपको 70 घंटे करना है,
Hmm.
बट अगर नीड है तो प्लीज बी अवेलेबल।
But then this makes me think ki if you have Northern Command, Western, Southern, if someone wants to attack India, they should attack you first.
सी दे ऑल्सो हैव मल्टीपल लेयर्स ऑफ सिक्योरिटी।
Hmm.
सो अगर वो
How
यूज,
well are you protected? Let me ask that.
ये बहुत सही क्वेश्चन किया, इसमें मेरे को अच्छा एक पीआर करने को मौका मिलेगा।
Hmm.
सो अभी तक हम लोगों ने 5 billion+ साइबर थ्रेट्स अटैक स्टॉप किए।
Hmm.
5 billion+ cyber threats we have stopped since the time we started serving our first
Dollar
customer.
INR.
5 billion+ cyber threats,
Oh, acha,
not the
sheer
amount.
volume. Okay. Hmm.
Yeah, it's a volume.
Okay.
So since the time we have started our first customer, so 5.5 years का जर्नी है जिसमें हम लोगों ने ये प्रोटेक्ट किया।
Hmm.
Not a single customer अभी है somewhere around 3,700 customers, including SMBs and government. Not a single customer has got breached till date. Luckily, fortunately, right? After this particular podcast, probably people may try to invade. कर लो, हमारे लिए अच्छा है, but before releasing or relieving it in the public, let us know first ki uh, हुआ क्या है and what you consider as a breach, because everybody has a different interpretation. But luckily, unfortunately, our backend team has done a good work. I appreciate them, the way they have been able to make sure it. So this is something which is a proven track record. और एक इंस्टेंस बताता हूँ, जब आई एम्स दिल्ली अटैक हुआ था, लोगों एग्जांपल बड़े जल्दी क्लिक करते हैं। एम्स दिल्ली जब अटैक हुआ था, दे इशूड एन एडवाइजरी टू अदर एम्स आल्सो कि आपको अपना जो सिस्टम है, जो भी आपने सिक्योरिटी इन प्लेस किया हुआ है, द करस्पॉन्डिंग ओईएम, ओईएम मींस द ओरिजिनल इक्विपमेंट मैन्युफैक्चरर। अगर मैं लैपटॉप डेल का यूज कर रहा हूँ तो डेल इज एन ओईएम फॉर मी। सो डेल को या जो भी करस्पॉन्डिंग ओईएम है उसको फॉर नेक्स्ट 7 days दे हैव टू कीप द सिस्टम अंडर मॉनिटरिंग।
Yeah.
We were serving two aims that point in time. I won't name them. Other than Delhi was not in our kitty. The other two aims. We received almost like 1 CR attacks every 48 hours. 1 crore attacks
Oh, अच्छा, volume. Okay.
on an individual, yeah, volume, on an individual aims within 48 hours of span. So every
Okay.
48 hours, that's the sort of volume of attacks we were receiving.
But ये तो सब in your customer. But have you guys been attacked?
No, no,
No,
not at, not the
no.
website, not any of the system, nothing. It's a very sensitive thing. If it would, I think you would get to know that before me. Media won't leave a space, or maybe the foreign competitors won't leave a space to put you in trouble.
And there was this one person who told me once कि भाई आप लोग ही अटैक कराते हो, फिर आप ही सॉल्यूशन बेचते हो।
हाँ,
ये भी
कुछ
कुछ
कंपनीज हैं
ट्रेंड
ऐसी, कुछ कंपनीज हैं ऐसी।
इट
आई वोंट
हैपेंस।
से नो। हाँ,
ऐसा
आई
होता है
वोंट
ऐसा?
से नो। या है कंपनीज हैं ऐसी। सो हु डू इट, हु एक्चुअली डू इट, हु इंटेंशनली डू इट बिकॉज़ दे बिलीव इनिशियल कस्टमर्स एक्वायर ऐसे ही होंगे। एंड
वाओ,
आई वोंट नेम देम, आई वोंट क्रिटिसाइज देम इफ दे
एक तो
फील।
नेम दे दो, एक तो।
नहीं नहीं वो कहीं ना कहीं आई एम कनेक्टेड टू देम, सो आई नो हाउ दे वर्क। सो इवेंचुअली they feel that initially customer ऐसे acquire होगा and this is how you can create your provider. That's okay, that's their thought process.
और कुछ मिर्च मसाला इस सेगमेंट का अब नेम नहीं दिए, कुछ और जो वी डोंट नो एज एन आउटसाइडर व्हिच
मिर्च
इज।
मसाला ये है कि यार ऐसा, अच्छा एक बहुत क्लियर थॉट प्रोसेस बताता हूँ कस्टमर्स को जो लगता है। चलिए आपके प्रोडक्ट में डिफरेंशिएशन है, व्हाट वी आर डूइंग इज आउट ऑफ, मतलब बिल्कुल अलग चीज है। वो हम इंडिया कॉन्टेक्स्ट के लिए बना रहे हैं या डेवलपिंग नेशंस के कॉन्टेक्स्ट से बना रहे हैं। बट जो लोग बहुत सिमिलर सॉर्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्ट में हैं, राइट, तो वहाँ की फॉरेन कंपनीज अगर आपके साथ कंपटीशन में कस्टमर्स के सामने दोनों बैठे हुए हैं, व्हाट दे विल ट्राई टू से इज कि सर यू नो अस, वी आर यूएस बेस्ड एंड कस्टमर्स आल्सो हैज। हमारे कस्टमर्स का सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम ये, इंडियन माइंडसेट का प्रॉब्लम ये है कि यूएस है तो अच्छा होगा, नहीं तुम इंडिया तो बना ही नहीं सकता है।
सही बात।
एंड आई ऑलवेज से दैट कि यार आपका खुद का बेटा जिस दिन स्टार्टअप करेगा ना, उसको जाकर के बोलना तूने बहुत खराब प्रोडक्ट बनाया, राइट। सो यू विल गेट टू रियलाइज कि कैसा फील होता है। ये बहुत सारे पीयर्स के साथ होता है ये सारी चीजें। फॉरेन मेक्स भी जो यूएस के अपने आप को क्लेम कर रहे हैं, दे आर द ग्लोबल लीडर्स इन इट, वो गार्टनर के मैजिक क्वाड्रेंट में, राइट, दे हैव आल्सो गॉट अटैक्ड। आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट अ बिग ओईएम और अ बिग मल्टीनेशनल कंपनी जो इंडिया में गवर्नमेंट के अंदर 5 बार अटैक हुई, और वो एम्स दिल्ली में भी वही था।
ओह वाओ।
उसमें से 3 बार प्रेस रिलीज में आ चुका है, राइट। बट स्टिल व्हाइल दे आर सिटिंग इन फ्रंट ऑफ द कस्टमर्स, वो जाके प्रोटेक्ट करेंगे, सर वी आर द बेस्ट इन इट। यू मे बी द बेस्ट, बट उससे बेस्ट वो है जो अटैक नहीं हो रहा है, राइट। आप अगर पिछले 3 साल में 5 बार अटैक हो गए इंडियन कॉन्टेक्स्ट में, उससे बेटर वो स्टार्टअप है जो पिछले 3 साल में एक बार भी सिंगल इंस्टेंस भी उसका रिपोर्ट नहीं हुआ है। तो आई बिलीव उसका टेक्नोलॉजी स्टेक ज्यादा बेटर है रादर देन गार्टनर क्या क्लेम करता है।
वाओ, दैट्स इंटरेस्टिंग। एंड हाउ ऑन अ स्केल ऑफ 1 to 10 बीइंग बहुत ही सिक्योर, 1 बीइंग कुछ सिक्योर नहीं, हाउ सेफ इज इंडियन गवर्नमेंट?
हाउ सेफ इज इंडियन स्टार्टअप्स और इंडियन कंपनीज और,
इंडियन गवर्नमेंट,
अच्छा
इंडियन
इंडियन
गवर्नमेंट।
गवर्नमेंट, ओ सी, आई won't have any answer to it in an objective manner.
नहीं नहीं, तभी तो क्वेश्चन का तो खत्म हो जाएगा एसेंस, यू हैव टू गिव अ नंबर।
मुझे अपना धंधा भी चलाना है।
तभी तो चलेगा। इफ यू से
In a very
6
positive way.
मतलब
Let
yeah,
me let
lot
me
of
say
scope.
let me say in a very positive way, because see, joke apart, government has been spending like hell keep themselves safe, secure. The kind of initiatives after Ames attack has have been taken, budgets have been granted. I think जो सिनेरियो आज से 7-8 साल पहले होता था, अभी एक छोटे से छोटे पॉलिटेक्निक कॉलेज के अंदर भी, आईटीआई कॉलेज के अंदर भी, they have taken cyber security measures,
Okay.
and we have been serving those sort of customers as well. I would say we are very much ready. Organization like certain
Hmm.
ministry, the our nodal ministry, in fact, Ministry of Electronics and IT, have been very very proactive in taking steps, and
बहुत ही
specifically
पॉजिटिव फ्लेवर दे दिया.
when you have specifically leaders like Honorable Ashwini Vaishnavji and Rajiv Chandrasekharji, who are very aggressive and who understand the essence of it, who have run the business, who have been the MDs and CXOs for large firms, and then have joined the government. Nobody can lead better than them, at least when it comes to this ministry. And
Awesome.
the steps have been taken. Actually, the steps have been. You can see DPDP Act. Right? It's
Definitely.
been attacked. It's been pending for long, and how quickly it has been passed in the parliament. It's credible.
Wonderful, wonderful. I think हमारा time, we are reaching the time, but I think I can go on this. It's a very interesting segment and trying to, get things out of you, but वो बड़ा boldly you are defending.
Uh,
But nice, nice. It was
we
great
can
talking to
definitely
you.
talk in person, not
Yes,
just for the
yes, we
media.
will definitely talk in person. But very nice to talk to you, Karmesh, and you yourself is an excellent communicator. In the beginning we were discussing how communication plays, but you put things very clearly, simply, and So I think I must appreciate you for that. Very important. I think over the years, obviously, people learn, and that's very important. I think one key takeaway for everyone. And thank you for your time. Anything you want to add, Karmesh?
Anything which I want to share? Okay. Hard work. That's it. I think everything falls in place. And बहुत एक recent learning है मेरी, बहुत recent learning है. Um, I have evolved myself spiritually in the last
Oh, wow.
3-4 months.
Hmm.
So I think two ways to attract fortune is to work hard and is to maintain good energy within you. Positive energy. And the universe is all about energy. If people understand it, uh, whatever you want to manifest, whatever you want to do, have positive energy within you. Simple to say. I also used to listen this from since my childhood.
Hmm.
अपने आप को positive सोचो, positive सोचो. It has a very deep meaning, very different meaning. So two things, only two things. Just do two things: work hard and think positive. Keep your energy positive. That's it. That's
Wonderful.
enough.
Don't attack your customers and then sell the solution. That is the don't do.
It's a very very interesting thing. Whenever I'll see you in person, I'll definitely talk about it.
Yes, yes. Many people will be interested also to understand this. But wonderful. Thanks a ton, Karmesh, for your time. Such a pleasure
Thanks
talking
for
to you.
having me here. I think it's wonderful for you that you ask so many good things and taken it forward in a very very interactive manner.